you judge them. No matter what, your brain will automatically classify them along with other people they remind you of. Whether it is the color of their skin, the clothes on their back, or even a wheelchair they are sitting in. Our society has made racism unacceptable, but it seems society has forgotten about the disabled. Just because someone is in a wheelchair or they walk with a funny gait doesn't make them any different from you and me. One of my uncles has cerebral palsy, my other uncle has autism, and my godparents' daughter had muscular dystrophy. And my mom, she's a physical therapist that works with kids who have severe disabilities. Because of this, my whole life, I've been surrounded by wheelchairs, walkers, feeding tubes, standers, and braces. I was so used to all this that it never occurred to me that other people did not feel the same way towards someone in a wheelchair. As I got older, I was confused by how my friends always seemed uncomfortable around someone that wasn't normal in their eyes. I began to realize that not everyone saw a wheelchair as just a way for someone to get around. I could not understand, and I tried to tell them that these people are no different, and many of them did listen. I began to see that people are just afraid of things that they don't understand. If someone has never seen a walker in their life, of course they're going to be wary of someone that's using one. However, letting these conditions limit people is intolerable. My uncle has told me many times that people say they don't judge you on how you look, but as soon as he walks into a job interview with a cane and an awkward gait, he gets a look. Whether of surprise, pity, or disgust, everyone notices. A little over a year ago, I too was in a wheelchair. I fractured my knee and had to use one for about a week before I could start using crutches. That week was awful. While I was always courteous to people in wheelchairs, I was not prepared for how disrespectful other people can be. A wheelchair is like an extension of someone's body. It can be so unnerving to be sitting and then going forward against your will. It's like running down a hill and not being able to slow down. Now, this doesn't mean you're not allowed to touch someone's wheelchair, but if you go by the rule of asking and treating it like an extension of their body, it's much more respectful. Even the fact that people are always looking down on you is very unnerving. My experience opened my eyes and changed the way that I act. I used to kneel to talk to someone in a wheelchair every now and then, but now I do it all the time because I know how important it is. One thing I'm not asking is for you to pity them. In fact, I'll say the opposite. Don't pity them. Janet Barnes, a quadriplegic, said, "I have not been handicapped by my condition. I am physically challenged and differently able." Everyone has their own challenges, and everyone's challenges are different. Someone may have trouble walking, another person may have trouble learning. It makes no difference in who they are. In fact, my friends who use wheelchairs are some of the happiest I've ever met. They know how to enjoy life. They are always surrounded by people they love and people that love them. They can appreciate many of the things most of us don't have the time to notice. All of these people need is a chance for you to get to know them. A little encouragement, a little hope, and they can do a lot more than you think. When my mom and uncle were growing up, his physical therapist told him he would never be able to ride a bike. Instead of giving up, my mom helped push him around on a bike so he could learn to ride. In high school, he wanted to be on the wrestling team. He learned to walk just far enough so he'd get to the middle of the mat, and then he would drop to his knees and wrestle. Because of his perseverance, today he only needs a cane to walk everywhere. My mom never tells a kid she works with that they can't do something. She asks them what they want to be able to do. And the answer isn't always what you would think. You may think that all a kid wants to do is walk, but maybe they just want enough fine motor skills to play video games with their friends. Being in a wheelchair doesn't prevent someone from having hopes, dreams, and goals of their own. All someone in a wheelchair needs is for you to treat them like you would any other person. Don't be afraid to get to know them, hug them, to laugh and cry with them, to love them. 2 years ago, a good friend of mine passed away at the age of 11. She was in a wheelchair all of her life, but she still knew how to give her mom sex. She was always smiling, always laughing, and I'm sorry more people didn't get to know her. Where I might see a bubbling personality and a fun-loving spirit, most people see a person that just isn't like the rest of us. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. So next time you see someone in a wheelchair or someone with a walker, don't just stare at them. And if you ever meet someone with a disability, don't judge them before you get to know them. They are just like you and me, so treat them like it. Jesus calls on us to love one another, not to judge one another. So extend a smile, a hand, and a few minutes of your time, and take a chance to get to know someone who is different than you.